Today, we're diving into some of the US military's most effective survival secrets. And I'll give you a hint, they're not locked away in some classified vault. Nope, they are sitting right on the shelves of your local Walmart.
So, when you hear that, what comes to mind? A stealth drone? Some kind of hypersonic missile? Well, the real answer is way more surprising, and it probably costs less than your morning coffee.
Okay, let's really look at this. You see a defense budget in the hundreds of billions, and you expect them to buy the stuff on the left. Of course. But what if I told you that the items that have saved more lives in the field are the ones on the right? Seriously, I'm telling you, the world's deadliest survival kit is hiding in plain sight, right in the personal care aisle.
So we're going to run through 11 items, every single one of them under $5, that the military buys by the truckload. And let me be clear, this is not your typical survivalist checklist of paracord and mylar blankets. This list is probably going to make you rethink everything you thought you knew about being prepared.
But before we even get to the list, we have to understand the philosophy, the why behind it. See, the military doesn't build survival kits around the best gear for one specific job. They build them around the most versatile gear. And this isn't about being cheap. It's about smart logistics. It's about cutting down weight for the soldier on the ground and giving them as many options as possible when they're a long, long way from any kind of resupply.
The core of this whole idea is redundancy, because in the field, Murphy's Law isn't just a funny saying, it's the only law that actually matters. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That one special tool you have, it will break. So every critical thing, making fire, getting clean water, first aid, it all needs multiple backups. And to keep that pack light, every single item has to pull double, triple, or even more duty. And this quote right here, it just says it all. It's not about having the perfect tool for a perfect situation, it's about adaptability. An item that can do 7 different things pretty well is way more valuable than an item that does one thing perfectly, because you have absolutely no idea which of those 7 things is going to be the one to save your life.
So, let's get to our first set of items, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. These are absolute powerhouse survival tools that you've probably walked past 1,000 times and never given a second thought.
Item number 1, a simple pencil eraser. And I know you're probably thinking I'm crazy, but the United States Army literally wrote this into Field Manual 4448. It's the official recommended tool for cleaning oxidized electrical contacts on critical radio equipment. You know, that little layer of corrosion can cut you off from the world, and a $1 eraser can get you back online. That's a lifesaver.
All right, you gotta buckle up for this next one. Item number 2 is unlubricated condoms. I am dead serious. The military has been issuing these since the 1930s, and believe me, the reasons go way beyond what you're thinking right now.
I mean, just look at the sheer range of uses here. During the Gulf War, soldiers stretched these over their rifle muzzles to keep out sand and moisture. It was a documented procedure. But that same item can also hold over a liter of water, act as a perfect waterproof bag for your phone or Tinder. The latex itself is flammable for starting a fire, and you can even rig it into a slingshot to hunt small game. Incredible. Next up, and this one might surprise you too, is tampons. Now look, combat medics don't care about the packaging or what something was designed for. They care about one thing, what works. And for decades, this has been one of the most effective tools they carry into a firefight.
And get this, the word tampon actually comes from the French word tampillon, which means a cloth to stop a hole. That's its literal origin. Medics figured out that it was the perfect size, sterile, and super absorbent for plugging a bullet wound. But beyond that, you can pull it apart and the dry cotton inside is amazing fire tinder, the string is usable cordage, and you can even use it to pre-filter dirt and sediment out of water.
Wow. You know, that quote says it all, doesn't it? When you're in the absolute harshest environments on Earth, where basic hygiene can be the difference between life and death, some things become more valuable than gold.
And that item he's talking about, baby wipes. They became the single most requested non-standard supply item for troops in both Iraq and Afghanistan. Soldiers used them for everything. For full-body baths when a real shower was weeks away, for cleaning sand and grime out of their weapons, even for cleaning wounds in the field. At less than 3 cents a pop, it's a multi-tool for hygiene and maintenance.
Okay, so we're leaving the personal care aisle now. Let's head over to the hardware section and your kitchen junk drawer, because the next items are just as common, and honestly, just as powerful.
So everybody knows about duct tape. It's a survival classic. But why does the military also make sure to carry electrical tape? Well, because it does critical things that duct tape just can't. It stretches and it conforms to the body, which makes it way better for making bandages, especially over joints like a knee or an elbow. And here's the big one. It insulates electricity, while some kinds of duct tape can actually conduct it. Using the wrong tape on a hot wire could be a catastrophic, life-ending mistake.
This next group is just a masterclass in versatility. You've got wax dental floss, that's 165 feet of super strong, waterproof cordage for sewing, fishing, you name it. A flat carpenter's pencil, it writes on wet surfaces, it won't roll away, and you can shave it down for tinder. Aluminum foil can be a cooking pot, a heat reflector, a signal mirror. And a humble safety pin, that can be a fish hook, or you can even magnetize it to use as a compass needle.
All right, our next item is a really big one. Plain, unscented, regular liquid bleach. And this isn't some fringe survival hack. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, and the military both officially state that bleach is one of the most effective and reliable water purifiers on the entire planet. And look how ridiculously simple the process is. You add just 8 drops of bleach to a gallon of clear water, you stir it, you wait 30 minutes, and that's it. The water is now safe to drink. No expensive filters that can clog, no boiling that uses up fuel, no batteries required. Just a simple, reliable chemical process that works.
And the math here is it's staggering. One single bottle, which costs less than $2, can purify 240 gallons of water. For one person, that's enough clean drinking water to last for 8 months. There is no other system on Earth that even comes close to that cost-to-gallon ratio. It's insane. And that really brings us to the main takeaway here. I mean, these items are incredible, right? But they're really just examples of a much larger mindset. It's not about what you carry. It's not about having expensive gear. It's about knowing how to look at simple things in creative ways. Now, what's really wild is when you look at the final numbers. We've covered things like lip balm, which has at least 7 uses, dental floss with 6, and all the rest. The grand total for all 11 items, a system that covers water, fire, medical, gear repair, and even gathering food, is $29.59. Less than $30. That's cheaper than ordering a large pizza. And this military logistics rule just sums it all up perfectly. Real survival, when it really counts, doesn't come from the most expensive, tactical-looking gear. It comes from the small, the boring, the overlooked items that do the most work for the least weight and the least cost. So I'll leave you with this final question to ask yourself. Take a hard look at your own gear, your own preps. Is your kit built around this principle of versatility? Or is it just a collection of expensive, cool-looking, single-use items? The answer to that question could really make all the difference.